This is still the Polity, and we're reaching you live from the Abuja studios of Kaftan TV. Right about now, I have Dr. Suleiman Abdullahi with me in the studio, and with him we are going to be analyzing some of the issues making the rounds in Nigeria today, particularly the ongoing tribunal in KOGI State between the candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Governor Usman Ododo, and the candidate of the Social Democratic Party, Ajaka. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you on the program.
It's a pleasure having you.
Honestly, I must thank you for taking out your time to be with us on the show today. We really do appreciate.
Thank you very much.
Your time. And let's get started from KOGI State, because quite a lot has been happening in Nigeria in terms of the polity, in terms of the economy and every other aspect. But let's take a look at KOGI State. We're already at the back end of the gubernatorial elections now, and you know the case is already before the tribunal. You know, I learned that you were part of the local observers at the election. Right now, let's take a look at some of the issues making the rounds. How would you assess the process so far? I mean, the process at the tribunal. How would you assess it so far? Let's get started from there so that we can put a broader perspective to the discussion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Francis. Looking at the tribunal procedures, since after the election and when SDP make a case against APC, against the winner of the election, His Excellency Alhaji Usman Ododo, and the APC political party, you see the issue is very funny to me. And why do I say it's very funny? Because we're experiencing the first time in KOGI State where election result is being challenged at the tribunal.
Okay. Yes.
But you mentioned one thing. As a local observer, I was there in KOGI Central where the SDP are making serious claim of overvoting.
Sorry to cut you short. If you say the first time in KOGI State where election results have been challenged at the tribunal,
that's governorship election.
Governorship election.
Yes.
I beg to differ on that, because I remember vividly well that either Yahya Bello's his re-election,
yeah,
the election that brought him back for his second term, it was contested at the tribunal. Even the first was contested at the
there was a clause in the constitution that was not too clear. If the person running for a particular position died, who will take over? Is it his running mate even before inauguration, or the second winner in the primary? That is why they have to go to court for the interpretation and to make it clear. Okay. And it was made clear that, look, in the case like what happened to Prince Abubakar Audu of blessed memory, is that, look, not that his deputy would take over, because the case there was that, look, Prince Abubakar Audu has not been sworn in as the governor-elect of KOGI State. So now the person that comes second in the primary should now take the position as the governor. But restrictions on people are even clamoring for what? For a new primary and new election. So the court make an interpretation of the law and make it clear that, look, no, the second winner, the second candidate in the primary will now automatically become the winner of that election. And that is what brought Yahya. It was not a case against Yahya in the court. It is an interpretation. They went to court for interpretation because the running mate of Prince Abubakar Bello was Faleke. Faleke was assuming to be now that, look, since Abubakar Audu is dead, he's supposed to be the next governor. But looking at the interpretation of the constitution, what the Supreme Court gave them, no, it's the person that came second, because the election have not been won have not been calculated and say, look, declared the winner have not been declared. So there's no way you say, look, you are to take who have thrown you in. You understand now? So your principal officer is dead. So that shows you are also, you understand now, you are appended to the principal officer. It's no longer there. That shows your own candidacy has been terminated.
Okay.
You understand now? So the person coming now have to come on board. But it is only when the second person in the primary felt otherwise, look, you have been there through all the process. Okay, you now stand to be his running mate, then good. If you feel not, you get his second his running mate. That's what transpired there. Even in the second coming of your bill, that was in 2015. 2019. The election was not as serious any contest. Some people try to make a case, may try to make a hill out of pebbles, and at the long run, they say that they have no case, and it died prematurely.
But there was a contestation.
You understand now?
So now let's get back to the present issue on the front burner now. The case instituted by the candidate of the Social Democratic Party against Governor Usman Odudu.
You see, Mr. Francis, let me tell you, in the first place, Murtala Ajaka is asking for legal justice about the outcome of the result of the KOGI election, and he doesn't have the prerequisite qualification to ask for legal justice as far as the KOGI state election is concerned. So because the prerequisite that qualified him to have asked for justice in the tribunal or in the court is that, look, first and foremost, you must have a case that, look, is clear. And the case you are having should be contestable, you understand now, and with all logical evidence, facts, that is what? That is proving that you have a legal case. In this aspect, this case has died prematurely even before the tribunal.
So, you just asserted that this case has died prematurely before the tribunal. Was that a declaration by any court of competent jurisdiction or by the court of public opinion? That's one.
Thank you very much.
Then secondly, I just want us to put a perspective to our discussion. Are you a member of the APC?
I'm not a member of the APC.
Are you a supporter of the APC?
I'm a public analyst and looking at an issue, with all objectives and from objective point of view. That's why I tell you that, look, this issue lacks what? Judicial prerequisite to be looked at, to be taken to court, because any case that you are taking to court, you must have an instrument of legal contestant that you are asking for a question and that needs legal answers. So in this case,
what are the pointers that should be? What are the things that should be the pointer that should point us to the fact that this case has merit? This case has all the prerequisite ingredients to be able to stand the test of time before the court of
thank you very much. Let me tell you why I said this is that, look, in this part of the world, we don't carry out research before even going to court, before even the legal system goes into action, because in a developed country they have a department of research in every court that will go and research, understand now, the procedure of election. If you have electoral matter, to look at it, what is the opinion of people, how has it gone from A to Z before even looking at what you have was as an evidence that you are presenting. So now I told you that, look, before you go to court, you must have a case. A case must be justified by the instrument of what? Of legal justice, that this is a case. In the first case, what are they contesting? They are contesting election that the electoral umpire have declared a winner. That is number one. And the winner has been sworn in, number two. And number three, and has been said, the people said this is our mandate, number three. You understand now? So now there is what we call issue voting. Issue voting is a political term whereby the narrative of every political gladiator used during the campaign process is this. In this part of the world, we don't look at issue voting. If you look at the two sides of these people that are contesting in the court, the APC candidate, the APC and Mori Ajaka and the SDP. Let me tell you, number one, the issue voting, Mori Ajaka is what? Is peddling on what? Igala agenda. Okay. As a candidate. Then the APC are peddling on what? On KOGI state agenda. And you know KOGI state is what? Have superseded the agenda of the Gala, because the Gala are what? A fragment of what? Of KOGI state. You understand now? That is number one. Number two, and let me tell you, if you look at the whole thing, is that look, I have given the structural establishment of each party in KOGI state, SDP, APC, the structure from local government to the council to local government to all the state assembly to local federal constituency. So they have only one federal representative. And the representatives have even come from SDP to APC. Then look at this one. I told you that look, they lack the legal instrument. How will a party within 6 months say they will be able to win an election? A sitting winning party, and there's a party of the initial party of that country.
But Labour Party were able to do it in Abia State. They were able to do it in some parts of
Labour State in Abia State is not new in that state.
Okay.
Labour Party has been existing in Abia State. You understand now, and it is a popular party in Abia State. We are coming to know about SDP for the first time in our political calendar as far as KOGI state is concerned. It was in 2023 election where we can know about it. So this case apart, you look at it. In the legal terminology, there is what we call pregnancy per alium. The situation whereby a woman gets pregnancy before her wedding without the knowledge of what? Of the man that wanted to marry her, okay, of which it stands to what? To be devoid, not to be legitimate because of the pregnancy. Let me tell you, there is no issue of what? Political pregnancy per alium as far as this case is concerned, because the dice has been casted, you understand now, between a ruling party in the state and between a sitting governor in the state and between the popular party in the state, with what? This with Mori Ajaka, understand now, from the other side of it. And let me tell you, is it that look, Mori Ajaka want to make a case where there is no case, because first and foremost, he is a candidate of APC that even represented APC at national working council, where he made his stipends. Now, is that look, you are coming back to bite the finger that feeds you within 6 months. And let me tell you, this is what we are trying to say look, it's very bad in Nigerian politics, because if you don't win election at the primary stages, then you try to make what? Try to make case that look, there's a foul play here and there. That there is a foul play here and there. So now what we are saying here is that look, there is no any issue of what? Of political inconclusiveness as far as what? The KOGI election is concerned. Okay, and let me tell you again,
very well done, Dr. Suleiman. We need to go on a very short break now. When we return, I would allow you land on your submission. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, the program continues. This is still the Polity, reaching you live from the Abuja studios of Kaftan TV. Dr. Suleiman, you were trying to make a point before we went on that very short break. I would want you to land on it before we go to more thematic issues on the tribunal. Okay,
if you look at it, what I'm trying to establish here is that, look, in the first beginning, you understand now, the new quarter, they don't have case. You understand? That is why in the tribunal process, you understand now, when the appeal court said, look, there is no issue for you to go back to check the BVAP and other things. You have done it before, even without the representative of the APC candidate in it when you check the BVAPs. Now, what do you need to go back? But they went to Supreme Court. The Supreme Court gave them the leverage, and they went back to assist and check. Now, when the case was presented before the tribunal, they were asking for star witnesses. You understand now? And let me tell you, there is what we call a practice direction in the court proceeding, and there's what we call practice form in the court proceeding. The practice direction, as far as the tribunal is concerned, if you look at it, they have instrument of what? Of legal justice and judgment that they use as a framework that guide the judges and on their daily activities as far as what judgment is concerned on each cases, particularly when it comes to sensitive, civil and sensitive cases like an election issue like this. Let me tell you, you don't touch justice, it's type of justice with what? With sympathy. You make judgment based on what? On critical evidence before you that are clear and clean, with that are clear what? Evidences that are beyond reasonable doubt. That is what we tell you that in social justice, you understand now, we deal with what? With practical evidences that are really mature, that look, could be will stand the test of time as far as legal issues are concerned. And because you look at it, whatever transpired today will be a reference case to other future electoral issues. So that's what I'm telling you today is that look, if you look at it critically, all the witnesses they are bringing to this tribunal, this sitting, if you look at the direction form, the lawyer himself, the sound they have there, what they feel in the practice form, and what the representatives claims before the judges, before the court, and before the tribunal are not in coherence with each other.
Okay, I still want us to put some perspective to this. First of all, Okutepa San is the is
Tomuri Ajaka.
Yeah, is Tomuri Ajaka, and you know, by his standards, we cannot begin to call his ability to, you know, critically question certain details. We cannot begin to put them in doubt. But then, if we look at witnesses like Salahuddin Okeji,
good,
Abdurrahman from Kuroko,
yes,
Abdulaziz, Abdul Karim, and a host of others. They have denied some of the things that were supposed to be, you know, evidences they are presenting as witnesses. Governor Yahaya Bello has been severally accused of, you know, using money to induce people both from his camp and from the opposition camp. What are your thoughts? Do you think there might have been some kind of inducement? But then, before you respond to this, I would want us to take another short break for some technical reasons. Apologies for that. The program will be right back. Sincere apologies for that technical break in transmission. Dr. Suleiman, we're trying to establish the evidences brought forward by Okutepa San and the witnesses. What are your thoughts on this? And also possible inducements here and
that's why I told you that look, this issue lack merit even before its arrival in the court. You look at, you are asking one of their star witness that look, we are in KOGI state during the election. He said he's in Imo State. How somebody is in Imo State during the election and you are bringing him to be a witness before a sitting tribunal on election process in KOGI State, and the person your witness telling he's not in KOGI State, he's in Benue State? And how can you bring a witness that will tell you he has an eye problem that he cannot read or neither see properly to read? You see, all these issues is not money inducement, because there is what I call the practice form that they feel. They feel it for this witness, and the witness now are saying different contrary to what the practice form that look, these people they Okutepa sign and feel before the tribunal. So what we are saying here that look, you cannot ask for sympathy where there is no sympathy. We are asking for justice, not to temper justice with what? With sympathy. In this aspect, it's quite a civil case, not a criminal case. You understand now? We looking from every point of view, every point of judgment, to look at it, the merit and the merit of what you are presented. So as far as the tribunal is concerned, San Okutepa have not shown the legal process we believe he should show in this process as a what? As a son. I've not seen him being erudite as a son. I've not seen the practice of what? Of the values he possessed as what? As a son in Nigeria, in what? In the representative claim, as I mentioned, in the son, from every party is presented before the tribunal. And let me tell you, in the process, he was fined for 500,000, and then he was made to pay, because when he asked for assessment of electoral material from Central, he was agreed. He was given the right to go. But when the lawyer from APC was asking that, okay, let's also have what? Access to electoral material from the KOGI East, he said no. You understand now? So in this aspect, why do you want justice for you and you don't want justice for the other part? So justice is what is clear. It's for both parties. You understand now? So justice is not being what limited to only one person. You understand now? So it is not the first person that went to police to invite police for a case that win the case in most cases. You understand now? So what we are saying here that look, this issue is breaking down the quality, and he has some kind of serious critical question to ask about the person of San Okutepa in this case. Because if you look at it, even as I'm talking to you, I'm not a lawyer, but looking at the word, there are aspects we look at it in lawyer when you are presenting a case. The logical conclusion, we look at it, the logical submission, we look at the evidences, how strong, how substantiable they are, and we look at the case itself before the tribunal. You understand now? Okay. How is it competent before even the court at the case? We will see it. Is it legally standard? And we also look at your witness and the procedure, the court sitting procedure, how you present your case. And in this aspect, we look at there is what we ask of logical submission of what of fact and evidences in what in every case of judgment, in every judgment in the court. And in this aspect of it, there is what we also call syllogism in what? In submission. There is no cohesion, there is no syllogism, there is no any sense of logic, coherence in what? Between what? The Kutepa himself, the lawyer, the son, the representative claim from the witnesses, and even from Muri Ajaka. The other time we are talking about qualification, the paper through the tribunal, they came to say, no, this is not part of what we are discussing, you understand now, because it's clear. So you
very good now that you mentioned qualification and papers at the tribunal. Part of the issues in contention at the tribunal right now is that Governor Ododo swore an affidavit before an FCT High Court. And further investigation into that very affidavit revealed that the date in which Governor Ododo claimed to have sworn the affidavit was on a weekend. Can you juxtapose these two? Can you juxtapose these two scenarios, and also tell us what you think about this having sworn an affidavit, and the date you are swearing the affidavit is a non-working day?
We are looking at a legal procedure of an electoral process in KOGI State. And the election process in KOGI State, the case presented before the court, the tribunal, has nothing to do with certificate. It's not a certificate each case. You understand now? So in this case, this issue of certificates is not presentable, it's not contestable. For this time, it should be a case after the tribunal. You understand now? So in this aspect,
what we are saying in essence now is that even if Governor Ododo is presenting a fake certificate, even if Governor Ododo have presented a fake certificate, since it's not part of what is being presented, then it should be.
What we are saying here, the issue before tribunal, the court. Let me tell you, there's a procedure. The procedure here is that look, the legal procedure is that look, after making a submission presentation, you don't have the right to go and bring a new case. You understand now? To the issue being contested before the courts. You understand now? So now this issue will not be looked upon until this issue that is at stake is at hand before the tribunal will be discussed, cleared and dusted by the tribunal. Then you can now file another case against him on this aspect of what? Of certificate or whatever you have against him. So this is what I'm trying to claim. This is what I'm trying to clear before our audience. So you understand, you don't mix these two issues together. If at the beginning you are making a case of this, and this case is not for the tribunal, it is a case for what? For the INEC. File your petition to INEC even before the election. This is your observation about His Excellency Governor Ododo's certificate, and where you understand now where you have issues. You didn't present it. You didn't present to APC. You didn't present to INEC. Then it is not now you present it. So even at this point, if you make a case to tribunal trying to question his certificate, it is now going to be between SDP and what? And INEC looking at what? The electoral procedure before election. You understand now? So if he have met the requirement for him to go, and INEC has said, look, he has been cleared, so it is now going to be between Ajaka and INEC, not Ododo again. So the government will continue his work with his government. This is what we are saying. So looking at the instrument of justice before this tribunal and through this tribunal, and what we are going to see at the end, I don't want to preempt the armed court of the tribunal, you understand now, but I'm assuring you that look, I'm sorry to say, we stand to question some characters when we are looking at tribunal sitting like this, or judgment before a serious court of order justice in Nigeria like the Supreme Court.
So who are these characters you think should be called into question at this point.
You look at Okutupa San, you understand now. Since from the beginning, you have what?
Who else?
Witness. Even Ajaka himself. Let me tell you why I said Ajaka himself should be called to order is that, look, if you know you have no case, and instead of you rubbishing and wasting your money, you understand now, and wasting what? The precious time of the judicial process court, in what? In this case, why not leave a lying dog to sleep? You understand now? If you have the strength of coming out in 2027, you go back to the drawing board and repackage yourself and go back to your constituency and start to strategize against next 4 years. This is what I'm saying. But trying to make case out of nothing will not lead you to anywhere, because at the end of the day you end up messing yourself. What? Because that's what we call political behavior. The political behavior of Ajaka is not showing a true character or quality of being a true KOGI.
But then he is a bona fide Nigerian, and by the constitution he has all the rights to seek a redress where he feels he has been shortchanged, particularly in electoral matters. So I think he's just exercising his fundamental human
right.
Human rights. But then because of our time, I want us to discuss other issues still in Kogi State. I want us to talk about the previous administration of Governor Yahaya Bello. Right now, there are several allegations of misappropriation of funds during his time as governor of the state, and there have been several calls from different quarters on the EFCC to expedite their actions and prosecute the former governor of Kogi State. What are your thoughts on this? And elsewhere, there are accusations, there are allegations that Governor Ododo is shielding Governor Yahaya Bello in Kogi State, in the Kogi State government house, and also Governor Yahaya Bello is still governing Kogi State by proxy. Hence, he went all out to support Ododo to become the governor of Kogi State. I want you to unbundle all of this in one breath.
You see, I said it on several occasions. Mentorship is not fatherism.
Okay.
Mentorship and leadership is accepted, is ideal, is legitimate, is welcome, is the transfer of value from one individual to other in terms of leadership.
Okay.
Yes, and we have what we call political reward system, that your loyalists you believe should be rewarded for being loyal, and agree to to mentor him for a period of time should be put to test. And that is the issue between Yahaya Bello and His Excellency Alhaji Usman Ahmed Ododo, as I can tell you now. And if you look at it, let me tell you, in the past government, you are talking of all allegations against His Excellency, the former governor of Kogi State. You see, you can't cry and be bereaved. Ododo said, His Excellency Usman Ahmed Ododo said, look, we have nothing against Yahaya Bello as far as Kogi State is concerned. And that is it. And that is the number one citizen. He's the chief executive, he's the chief security officer, he's the chief accounting officer of Kogi State. Then what else will he say? What will AFCC have to say? And let me tell you, EFCC went to the court on a Yahaya Bello and other Bello issue, and they make their case that they said their claim is in 2015. That's what they wrote in their form. In the practice form I used to tell you. Then now the court draw their attention. They now withdraw that case back, trying to represent the case with a different case. This alone has raised a question mark against EFCC. And if with all the technical departments and all the technocrats, all the experienced people working as far as EFCC is concerned, draw from all aspects of life, you understand now, all the various disciplines of life working there, with this error, it's a serious error that raise a serious question against EFCC. And if I'm Mr. President, head will roll there for this serious mistake. It's a critical mistake.
And you don't think the former governor Yahaya
Let me tell you.
needs to be one of the heads to rule? Because if we talk about the Yahaya Bello's administration, one would talk about payment of salaries in percentages.
Let me tell you.
We talk about payment of salaries in percentages. Elsewhere, we can look at some of the universities that were created under his administration. So words on the street have it that these universities are poorly funded. Even the Prince Abubakar Audu University in Ayingba has not been, properly funded. Now, 3 other universities were established. What are your thoughts on this? If heads will rule, don't you think the former governor should, lead the line?
Look. You can justice. He who washes hands come with what? With equity.
He who must come to justice must come with
cleanliness. So let me tell you, the issue of Yahaya Bello and EFCC have drawn our attention seriously to what? To the gravity of media as far as newsstand is concerned today in Nigeria. And we have seen a lot of publication coming out from here and there, you understand now. And let me tell you, up till now, this issue have not been clearly presented before the court. That is why anytime you call Yahaya Bello from any court, I'm telling you, his lawyer will represent him and he will answer you very clear. So this issue is that, look, in the first place, first appearance matters a lot. You understand now? We are looking at technicalities of issue when it comes to what? Criminal justice. Because money laundering is about criminal issue. You understand now? And you are talking of first citizen of a state and a leader in his own right, from his own constituency. You understand now? And look, let me tell you, you see, we don't just toy with language we use in technical terms when it comes to what? To issues that have to do with legal matters. You understand now? We have to refrain from using some words because we should know the implication that those that we are talking about are not just ordinary citizens of Nigeria. They are leaders in their own right. You understand now? As far as Nigeria is concerned, Abdullahi Bello is a leader that has to be reckoned with from the federal level to the state level. You understand? In every segment of this country.
And you don't think Usman Ajaka is a leader to be reckoned with also?
In what respect?
He was a major force in the
how?
He was a major force at the recently concluded KOGI state election.
How? Somebody we are talking of KOGI election is talking of a Igala agenda. You understand now? That is. Let me tell you back to 1948. What happened? There's what we call OAS. That is Organization of American States. In 1948. The American states came together, they came together to form what? Organization of American States for what? For peace, security, mutual understanding, and cooperation. In 1960, in the early 60s, the OAS came together and laid a serious sanction on what? On Cuba. You understand now? Because of their political interference in America and the way they are treating Americans. Look, let me tell you, this is the KOGI has spoken. And we are going toward to the pool to cast our vote. We have seen the outcome of the result. You understand now? Ajaka still don't believe in it. And let me tell you, I don't like people who speak from both sides of their mouth. In the first place, I'm not going, I'm okay with it. In the second aspect, he now said, look, I'm going to a tribunal, you understand, to challenges. Okay. So now, after some time, he said, look, I don't have money to, file the legal case. He was asking all the Igala to contribute money. Now he's having his kinsman, the son, Ukutepa, as you understand now. So all this process, we are looking at it, is all what based on Ajaka's sentimental, you understand now, biasness and his political behavior as far as politics is concerned. He is not a true Democrat. You understand? A true Democrat, let me tell you, an election has been concluded and the electoral umpire have announced a winner, and all the sister agencies, security agencies have signed their signature, you understand, as far as every right is concerned, that look, we have a winner. You understand now? Then what are you contesting? And let me tell you, are you contesting victory? You are shortchanged. You want 8 local governments against 12 local governments? You understand now? How can we win that election? 8 against what? Against 12? You understand now? We have a serious question mark. So look, let me tell you, the mentality of abusing the legal process in Nigeria because I think it's free. That is why you feel when everybody wake up from the side of his bed, he felt that, look, this case I will take it to court. Because in the first place, if you are making a case in the court, in every sitting, you have to pay some token coins amount of money. Both defendant and the complainant, you understand now? That will tell you that in every sitting, you have some money to pay. And at the end of the case, if you lose this case, understand now, without critical and very cogent evidence to present to win this case, you are going to be fined heavily. Because of what? The psychological trauma you have put, you understand now, your opponent in, all the process, you understand now, the legal fee is going to pay. Let the court now summon every and ask you to pay.
All right, then our time is already fast spent, but in 2 minutes, I would want you to rate the Governor Usman Ododo's reign at the helm of affairs so far and your expectations. I would want you to just respond to that in 2 minutes before we call it a wrap on the program.
Yes, I listened to one of his speeches. He said, look, I'm still learning. I don't need to rush. You understand now? And where necessary, I need to take a proactive measure in readdressing issue, I will do it, understand now. So I'm not going to leave Kogi State like this. I am studying the situation, and when it is the right time has come, I will make all necessary reform and restructure. And that is correct. Before your first 3 months in office, you need to study the situation on ground. You need to study who are around you. You understand now? You need to look at the Kogi civil service. You need to look at the 21 local government. You need to look at what the political gladiator in the state. You need to look at the traditional ruler institutions, and you need to look at what the what you call state actors and non-state actors. You need to look at them. You understand now? And you look at your followers that have given you this mandate, and you need to reward them in whatsoever measures. Where you need to take proactive measures, where you need to take reform and restructure, it is then you now, after 3 months, you now start to put every day peg in the right hole. So this is what I'm saying. If you look at it today, we have a lot of issues to be addressed as far as Kogi State is concerned. But His Excellency Governor Alhaji Usman Ododo, let's give him the benefit of that within the next 3 months and look at it. When he have the first 3 months in office, then we can assess him within 100 days and let's look at his achievement. But now, if you are saying it, he gives some palliative measures to civil servant. He says, look, this palliative measures for the civil servant, you understand now? And he was able to pay 85% of the month before last. And last month, he paid, before Easter, he paid complete 100%. You understand now? And he's paying now, to the best of my knowledge, what I learned, he's even paying pension.
The 100% payment that he paid last, you think it's something that's sustainable?
If it is, of course, but at least he has started from a very positive and a good pedestal. Okay. So if we continue, we need to applaud him and look, we need to say, look, good and fine, you are making a headway, you are making a difference. So let's clap for him, and at the end of the day, let's look at how he's going to finish. Then we will now have a scorecard to showcase and criticize him constructively if he has made a serious impact in the life of the KOGI or not. Then we will know his leadership quality and his do and don't, and we will know how to classify him among leaders in Kogi State.
Thank you so much, Dr. Suleiman Abdullahi. It was really interesting talking to you. Thank you so much for your very much insightful analysis on the issues brought forward today. We really do hope to have you on the show again some other time.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much. And viewers at home, this is where we draw the curtain on today's episode of the program. Do well to join us again, same time, same station tomorrow. My name is Francis Adeniyi. Bye.